Hello, 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 testing, testing. Hi. Uh, this is Duncan, as you might know me or not know me by. And welcome to the first episode of potentially named What I Watched This Week, June 7th through the 14th. I watched a lot of movies. I guess I started as a child with the family, as everyone else I feel like probably does. With two older brothers, it was a good way to have us stop destroying the house, tearing each other apart, annoying each other, annoying the parents, that kind of thing. So put a movie on, keeps the kids busy, but I don't know, more and more time it came on, it became a way to bond, it became a way to, I don't know, uh, hear and tell stories to each other. So yeah, it just became something that we all, as a family, really got into, and especially during and post COVID, I personally really got really into, and more than just like, oh, I'm watching this movie for escapism just to enjoy it, but oh, there's so much more to film. I feel like both visually, like emotionally, like what you personally can get out of all of them. So I thought, hey, why not talk about them? I know I also have a separate podcast with my brother, one of them, Aiden, where we talk about one movie per week, either new or old, what our thoughts are on it. But I watch quite a bit more than that. You can check out my letterboxd for more of those things. I'm at Duncan8, the letter 8 donuts. So I have been putting up stuff there for the last year and a half or so. So I figure, hey, once a week I'm just going to go through, talk about what I saw that week, what I liked, what I didn't like, what you should see, what you shouldn't see, maybe save you some trouble. And yeah, this might be just for my ears only. This might be something that appeals to you. If so, hey, keep following. This might be something I keep doing, something I don't. We'll see. Just kind of gonna spitball. So, starting with the week of July 7th through the 14th, I started with The Platform. It's a foreign film dubbed over. I found it on Netflix. A couple of friends were over. We were barbecuing and we wanted to put something on. And this was, I would say, good, not great. It was an interesting concept of the floors moving through and uh, the idea of you almost having to work together to feed everyone from the top to the bottom. If you don't know the concept, I don't really want to a certain way give it away, but it's very simple. Google it, you'll find it. I'd rather not. But the ending was, ugh, like what? I don't want to say a cop out, but they could have definitely. I don't know. It definitely needed something. Out of five, including half stars, I gave it a 3 out of 5 star. Yeah, fine to put on, and interesting enough to keep our attention, but not anything, I guess, to write home that much about, to be honest. Um, yeah, and then I followed it up with a rewatching of Rushmore by Wes Anderson. I recently got access to Hulu, and for some reason Hulu has all of his work, so I've been going through that. I already did Life Aquatic. Uh, then I hit Rushmore, and I'll probably do Darjeeling or maybe Asteroid City, something later on. But Rushmore is earlier. I mean, it's late '90s, '98. I really like. It's not my favorite because I mean it's hard to beat something that is. I mean, Grand Budapest is fantastic. Fantastic Mr. Fox is amazing, but I don't know. I definitely saw this at the right time the first time around, where I'm still trying to figure out what my thing is, and it's I don't know, like the whole what's Rushmore, like if that's going to Rushmore, if that's a person, if that's a career. I don't know. I really enjoyed the music, the classic Wes Anderson like attention to detail of things being uh specific, I guess. I love the whole montage of all the different clubs that the main character creates at Rushmore. I don't know. It's just a very like it's a warm film. I feel good watching it, that kind of thing. So if you can watch it, I'd definitely say check that one out. Uh, Bill Murray not being the center of attention, but still being Bill Murray. He's great in it. Yeah, just a solid choice. A good 4 out of 5 for sure every time. From there, I went on to The Count of Three. This had been on my watch list for quite a while. This came out a couple years ago, 2021. Two friends both deciding, hey, they want to kill themselves, and they're just going to have one last day to do all the things they want to do before they shoot each other at the same time, obviously on the count of three. Some really cool cinematography in it. Some of the themes are pretty heavy at times, but again, like I very much was hooked. And I liked that it wasn't anyone big attached. I don't think it's a super massive scale, like blockbuster. I liked that it was a little more art housey, alternative, not everyone knows about it kind of thing. Yeah, but I definitely enjoyed it. Definitely pulled the right emotional strings at the right time, I feel like. And yeah, worth a watch for sure. I gave it a 4 out of 5. That was also Hulu. You can see how now that I've discovered a new streaming service that I have access to, does everyone really pay for all of theirs? I feel like everyone just pays for one and then trades off with everyone else, which I think is fine, just not as a side tangent, but the whole like, oh, we're gonna like Netflix does this thing which bugs the shit out of me, but where you can't you have to be within the quote unquote household. So you have to get a new code sent to either your phone or your laptop every single time if you're not in that quote unquote household. Super annoying. They should just realize people are going to share. I mean, yes, I get that they want to have a bigger and bigger customer base and people paying for the service, but like, is this really the battle you want to, like the hill you want to die? Like you're doing fine as a company. I think you're doing okay. I think the millions of subscribers per month, I think you're fine. Just saying. From there, on the count of three, I went and saw. I didn't went and see. I'm so glad I didn't go see this. I just decided, hey, I'm doing chores around the house. I'm folding laundry. I'm vacuuming, whatever. I put on Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire, the new one that came out. Wow, was this a hot pile of dog shit? Like it was so bad. Like, oh my god. First, I mean, things did not look that good. The acting and the writing were horrible, like absolutely horrific. I didn't care about any of the characters. The monsters felt less monster than any other movie that they've made. Like he's just like they Kong in this seems like, oh, he's just a slightly bigger than normal monkey. Godzilla is just sometimes, I mean, I don't know, it didn't feel grand, it didn't feel exciting, I didn't care. None of it. And I'm sure it made its money back, so I'm sure they're gonna make another one. It seemed like such a waste from, I mean, the first Godzilla back with Cranston, Aaron Taylor Johnson. Yes, it was slow and a lot of people didn't like it. I kind of did. And then even Kong Skull Island, I liked a lot. A lot of people didn't, but at least it felt more like an actual movie and not just a money grab and like a how much visual effects can we just dump in. Like this was almost 100% visual effects, and it definitely shows. Like it just was not captivating. It wasn't even, yeah, it wasn't even like the visual effects that do captivate you. Things like, movie aside, things like they're strange. No, the story may not be there, but like visually, oh, I was pulled in. There was nothing. There's literally nothing for you. So I gave it a 1.5 stars. Again, it probably could have been harsher, to be honest, but yeah, it was on HBO Max, whatever you want to call it. I feel weird not saying the HBO part. I feel like you have to say that, or else you're just saying someone's name. Either way, I would probably not recommend that one unless you want to just waste a good like 2+ hours on this just bullcrap. Ugh. From there, I definitely had a little bit better of a time. I went and saw it in theaters, and I'm glad I saw it. The theater makes such a difference for, I'd say, most movies. The whole transition where everything is streaming. Like, I get it, or at least I have access to a lot of movies that I may not have access to, and I can watch them at my leisure, but the experience is so much better in a theater. I mean, if it's packed, that's even better, but like, it's just a different feeling. I saw The Bike Riders, the one with Tom Hardy, Austin Butler, uh, and okay, so the soundtrack was great. I mean, I added probably 5 or 6 songs from that soundtrack to just my general like playlist that I keep playing all the time. Jody was great. Tom was great. The outfits, oh man, it definitely made me want to find like a dope leather jacket. It's not the season for it when it's like 90 degrees out. Everyone else is sweating their balls off, but definitely kind of want to get, even though I'm not a bike guy. Even the bikes themselves. Again, I'm not a bike person. I have a bicycle and a electric bicycle, but not a motorcycle. But they were cool. Like, it definitely made me appreciate them. Um, and it's tight. Like, it's not an overly long movie. I didn't feel like I needed to check my watch over. I didn't realize it was also a mostly true story. Uh, I'm sure there's certain embellishments, but yeah, I just didn't realize that it was all pulled from a book, pulled from interviews. So that was at least interesting. The bad Austin Butler, he 100% looked the part. Like, I get the casting, but he did this whole like subdued, stoic, sultry. I'm not gonna emote or anything. Like, I don't know. I'm difficult or something. That just, it lost me. I get it's part of the character that they even reference it, that like he doesn't care about anything. I've never seen him cry. Blah blah blah. It just felt really snoozy. Like, again, when he was on the bike, I was like, okay, this makes sense. He's doing things, but just there's so many points where he's just him staring off into the distance. I'm like, dude, I don't give a shit. And in the last 2 minutes, again, this spoiler, skip the next 20, 30 seconds of this podcast, but Tom Hardy dies, and Austin Butler gets all sniffly, teary eyed, and he's trying to like show that he actually has emotion and cared about the guy. But man, I did not buy it, but also like I was like, oh, this feels ridiculous given the rest of the story. I don't know, it like felt like the work had not been done for that kind of payoff, if that makes any kind of sense. His hair and jawline, I think, did more acting than he did. But again, I would definitely say I liked it. I didn't love it. If anyone has seen Legend with Tom Hardy, it definitely felt the same kind of thing. Uh, where it's from the story of the girlfriend. Tom Hardy's in it. It's a period piece. Kind of the gangster thing gone wrong to a certain degree. But Legend, if you haven't seen that, that's one of my favorite movies. It's excellent. Just all parts of it are excellent. This just felt not like it's like its little brother, like not quite there, but speaking as a little brother, not quite there, but not bad. So I gave it 3.5 out of 5. Again, like, I would say go watch it if you can, but I wouldn't put it in like a top 10 list of anything. The shitty Regal I went to definitely had something wrong with the projector. All the trailers and the movie had this like blue-green tint that I definitely picked up. So I mean, maybe the movie would have looked different otherwise, but I mean, it did kind of work for the movie because the movie's pretty dark, pretty kind of grainy, gritty, which did kind of work. But just generally speaking, I did notice it. I don't know if other people did, but just something to kind of consider if you're going to go to a movie theater. Make sure that like it's a quality movie theater. Like, I went off to one in Auburn just because, and it was not great. The sound felt like it could have been pumped up quite a bit more. So I don't know if I'd go back.
That's the theater that I used to go to as a little kid across from like this big mall that we used to go to. But A, it's out of the way, and B, it just wasn't like an amazing experience, I'd say. So, I think there's other options out there. From the bike riders, let's see. Let me check my old letterbox for what's next. Oh yeah, I saw The Creator, and wow. Okay, this has got some good and some bad, and I would say more bad than good, unfortunately, because I mean the 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 people behind this did Rogue One, and Rogue One is like a perfect movie, and it's a star like maybe a perfect Star Wars movie. It's beautiful, the acting's good, like it actually like it's a super well-rounded movie. And this coming off the heels of that, I mean, the only saving grace to this was the visuals. Super very like seamless effects. I think it won awards for its uh visual effects. I think so, and I get it, but the story, the writing, pretty much everything else was just kind of mush. Like it's super long, and it did not need to be. And it also took me 3 separate sit-downs where like I would sit down, watch 20, 30 minutes, and have to be like, okay, I gotta get up and do something else. Like this is just not captivating. I don't care. And it's not that long, but like Jesus Christ, guys, like trim the fat somewhere, make the characters better. Ugh. I know it's the young fella from uh Tenet, Malcolm and Marie. I can't remember his name. It's John something. It's Denzel Washington's son, right? Either way, 2 out of 5. Not not something I'd probably recommend. If you've got time to burn, sure, but there are better movies out there. From there, I went and put on The Way Back. It's just a random movie I found, I think, on Peacock or Paramount or something. I don't know. I've just kind of been trying to peruse the options I have. Uh, yeah, this was. I mean, it's not new. It's not old. It's like 2015 or something like that. It's 2013. Excuse me. Uh, it's supposed to be a whole like not teen angsty like. It's kind of hard. I don't. I mean, I don't know how I'd even classify it. What kind of like genres you'd put it in. But there's some comedy. It's mostly drama. It's like relationshipy stuff, and like there's a few of the cast. I was like, oh, you're great, and some people really nail it. I don't know if I've ever seen a movie where Sam Rockwell is either a not playing the same Sam Rockwell-y kind of character, but I also love that kind of like he's so fun. He's just a fresh like uh quirky, fun, sarcastic wise guy. Like but not like he's not the leading man sarcastic wise guy. Like he's not like a oh god, he's not like a Robert Downey Jr. for Iron Man. He's just like I don't know. He's fucking Sam Rockwell. Either way, he was great, and he's like a buddy to the main kid who is terrible. I know. Again, he's a kid actor. He doesn't have the experience and all these. Like Tony Colletti is actually pretty good in this. Steve Carell, I felt like could have done more with his character. Like he was kind of just meh. But this whatever Liam James is his name. He's supposed to be this awkward kid who has to go on vacation with his mom and new boyfriend Steve Carell, and God, it's just he's like, it's not even that he doesn't emote. It's like he doesn't know how to be a human. I like Jesus Christ, like it was painful to watch. I know maybe that's on purpose. If it is, well done. But just man, and he's the main character. I did not care at all what happened to him. And this was an hour. I mean, God, I can never find the runtime on these things. Either way, it was time that I just did not care for. I didn't rate it. I didn't really know how I felt about it at the time. I'd probably give it a 2. 2 out of 5. there are better movies like this. Like maybe not road trippy movies, but just maybe not coming of age. I don't know. It's kind of an amalgamation of a lot of things, but either way, could have been better. I don't know. But I also know it takes a lot to even get a movie greenlit, but also to get it made. Period. So like, hey, good for you for even getting the thing off the ground. I just, if I was an executive, I probably would have given money to something else. To be honest. Yeah, just just eh. From there, on the 10th, I watched Demolition. This is the one from like a decade ago, 2015. Jake Gyllenhaal. There are several gifs and memes of him dancing. Of just there are several bits from this that I've just seen for years, and I never actually sat down and watched it. So I saw it was available. I said, you know what, screw it, we should just put it on and see what's happening. Surprisingly really good. Like not amazing, but I definitely am glad that I saw it. So yeah, I definitely came for the meme. I stayed for just him just destroying his life. The movie starts and it does not mess around with timing. It cuts pretty quickly. Him and his wife get in a car accident. She's dead. He walks away without a scratch, and it's just him dealing with that and not knowing how to. Like the amount of jokes I've seen where it's like, oh, he could have just gone to therapy and saved us 2 hours. But I don't know. I had a good time. This is where he did not emote super well, but again, like I could see like the little cracks and crevices building throughout the movie, and then by the end, the actual like the payoff was worth it, or he actually like came to terms with everything. That's what Austin Butler should have done for bike riders. I don't know. It just that bugs me because I really wanted him to be great in that, and he just wasn't. Jake Gyllenhaal, teach him at some point, please. Just show him what to do. Either way, if you have time, Demolition. Yes, there are lots of fun little ridiculous bits in it where he's just being crazy. Not like Nick Cage crazy, but just I don't know. I've been starting like he might be one of my favorite actors. Like he's done a lot of things that I actually either really like and everyone knows, or really like and no one like. There's one called Wildlife. It's slow and dry. This is kind of a deviation, but uh, I don't know. There's several out there that I think that he's really great in. October Sky when he's a little young kid. I don't know. They're classics for a reason. From there, I jumped back about 20 years to With Honors, which is early what's it, Brendan Fraser, the guy from Grey's Anatomy. I mean, there's what's his fucking name? Oh, Patrick Dempsey. Excuse me. Uh, but the main I mean, maybe not a standout, but I would say it's a super interesting performance. Joe Pesci. What, what the fuck, dude? He plays a bum who steals Brendan Fraser's like thesis paper, and of course he doesn't have another copy. Oh no, what's he gonna do? So he just has to work with him to get his thesis back, and it's an it's I'm glad I watched it. I like it. Not a not a bad movie, but there is an accent choice or just like a voice choice. I don't know how else to word it, but that actually uses the entire movie. That is absolutely bonkers. Like I don't know what the fuck he was going for. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like there's no way to explain it. You have to watch it. Even if you spend 5 minutes with the movie, you'll know. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's yeah. That aside, the movie pretty enjoyable. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Like, sure. Yeah, I don't know if I need to watch it again, but I'm glad I watched it. And I would probably tell other people like, oh yeah, it's worth a watch kind of thing. So take that what you will. From there, on the 12th, I watched The Adjustment Bureau, which I've seen before. I think my parents owned the movie when it came out in 2011. I would have been 2011. I would have been like 15, 16, something like that. I don't know. Either way, I feel like a pretty interesting concept. Uh, I like that that's, or at least it happened, because I feel like it's an original idea that I feel like actually worked. It didn't get hokey. It was fun. Like I believe the chemistry between Matt Damon and Emily Blunt. If you don't know what the movie's about, uh, yeah, I would give it a check. I would check it out for sure. You can find it. I think I found it on Netflix this time. Yeah, yeah, check it out. Uh, there is a bit though. I gave it 3.5 out of 5, and it could have been more, to be honest. But the powers that the bad guys, again, I don't want to give too much away, have come from, they were, which again, kind of dumb. That's fine. But it could be, again, they could be any kind of hat. They like imbue with their power. And of course, the hat that Matt Damon decides to use in the third act to like not rescue Emily Blunt, but like go get her romantically. Again, again, I would watch it. I believe it, but it's this, I mean, ridiculous fedora, like the kind that you see on someone. You're like, oof, man, that's a guy that probably has not talked to someone of it's just it's rough. It's really rough. It's ridiculous on Matt Damon, where he it's a super serious scene where he's like talking basically to agents of God to convince them to like let him and Emily Blunt be together, and he's wearing this fucking fedora. Like it's crazy that they're like, oh yeah, this is the choice of the movie that we want to make. So that's why, again, maybe that's not the only reason, but that's why I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Like again, pretty good. Would tell people to watch this. But maybe not my favorite. And from there, on the 14th, yesterday, wrapping up. I don't know where I'm gonna cut the weeks. I'll probably do Monday to Sunday. I don't. We're still figuring. I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out. But I finished it up with Americo, which I have seen before. I want to like this more. I know there are parts that I think are great, but I don't know. I think it's been overhyped. A lot of people think it's this amazing thing. I've seen it twice, and both times I thought it was okay. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Like good, not great, but good. It's I know it's rated highly, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm just not the target audience, if it's before my time. There's several bits that I just completely tune out for. Anything with I like William Dafoe a lot, but not in this. I just don't care about his interaction as this detective. Uh, do I absolutely wish I could have uh the personal routine laid out to get the physical outcome that Christian Bale has? Sure, the dude looks fucking crazy stacked in this. Like, goddamn, dude. Uh, but yeah, yeah. I Nope. And sorry, cut out there for a second. Testing, testing. Man, lose you guys there for a second. You're doing so well, and the plug-in on my microphone does not stay plugged. It's a loose, so I'm holding it in with a couple fingers while holding them. It's a janky setup. It's not great. I get it. So if I lost you there for at some point when I was rambling about American Psycho, sorry. In conclusion, good, not great. I get why people like it, but I don't love it. So I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I feel like, which is just like the right response. I don't know. There's a lot of good meme LPs there. I know that you can just cut from. Him at the club, him sitting at lunch where he's disassociating from William Dafoe. Lots of different spots. With that, I think that's the last thing I saw this last week. Yeah. I might be doing these every week. They're pretty easy. I can just kind of ramble for 20 minutes, whatever it turns out to be. We'll see if these actually get posted. That's another question, I suppose. But yeah, that was what I watched this week with Dunk, or Dunk's Movie Corner. Dunk's... I don't know what the right buzzwords that people use for this kind of stuff are, but that's what I watched. Obviously, watch these if you want. Form your own opinions. Tell your friends. Watch more movies. Yeah, this just seems like a no-brainer that I like movies. I could talk about movies, and maybe someone wants to hear them. So that was July 7th through the 14th. I'll be back in a week to talk about the 15th through the following week. So, yeah, I'll see you all then.